Hi, this is Carolina Varsity 2016. This is our first confession session of the year. And this is about the firing of Patriots Independence head coach Scott Young. And Matt, I'm going to let you go ahead and unload first.
Well, we were just saying last year we started with Independence and the handshake and the coin toss.
Right.
And now you got this mess going on. And my whole problem is these principals, and it's been happening in CMS the past few years. They come in here and they're new. They don't have a guy that they hired. So, they come in and they just make changes. And they don't consider the effects of changes on, number one, kids.
Yep.
Number two, the program itself. And then number three, other coaches that are looking at your program and saying, there is no way in the hell I'm going to go down here and coach for you if you treat someone like the reputation Scott Young has in this state.
Yep.
A 3-time state championship winning coach. 3 years in a row.
Right.
You got someone with that pedigree coming in to lead your program. You got to give a coach resources and a chance to be successful before you go in here and you make these changes for whatever reason. And I know you're going to expand on that. But independence, you got to know, number one, who you are. You have a legacy that can be unmatched in any part of this state. You have the longest winning streak in state history.
Exactly.
And you are tarnishing your reputation by continuing to do these stupid things. And this is terrible. Absolutely terrible. And the way people look at you now, and it's not a thing against the kids or the coaches that are there now, because you got to do what you got to do. But as an administration, you got to look yourself in the mirror and say, what are we doing here? What is our plan? And how are we going to fix this thing to make it right?
I'm as mad as he is about it. Scott Young not only has a good reputation of being a winner, but he has a reputation of being ethical, upstanding. He's not a bad person. So that just kind of compounds the fact of doing something. He just lost his father. Doing something like this 1 week before the season starts. I'm not a young person. I've been in business. I worked for a large corporation. I know how things happen in the big boys, in the big leagues. Right. And what is done here is just, I saw a couple of people post on Facebook and they used the word scum. And, and these are, a couple of those are coaches that you would like to have coaching at your facility. And their thoughts on independence is scum. And it really is kind of, I don't know, Matt. No matter what the situation is, and, we've heard various situations.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on that's out there. And, the bottom line is this. You've got a man that's, moved his family, has got a great reputation as a great football coach,
yep.
And you knew the situation that he was in. You don't just get rid of a man. I don't care what his reputation is. You don't get rid of a man like that.
No,
you support him.
So what should have happened here? And if it's one of the things that's kind of an obvious thing anyway, even if you haven't heard that it's one of the root causes, is his health. And that's what was used against him, was his health. So he was hired. Maybe you wouldn't have hired him. Fine, I can understand that. He could probably understand that. But he's hired. He's on staff. He's there. Mm-hmm. Now we're approaching the start of the season.
Right.
A wise management move would have been to go to him and say, look, if you're struggling or you're having problems or whatever, getting up to speed, what we want to do is we want to name an assistant head coach. We're going to have somebody lockstep with you to assist you all the way through the process. As you get stronger, you take over. He's still the assistant head coach all the way through the season, because if something happens, we got to have somebody that can continue on with what you're doing. You don't just wipe him out. You should try to support him, because he did nothing to harm you. He did nothing to make your program worse. Actually, he worked to make your program better. That would be his goal, and you needed it. You have one of the worst reputations right now, and the reputation did not improve. I've received a number of messages from coaches that have made the comment that I would never work there. Maybe they would when this situation gets addressed, but we've had the whole thing with Evans through Harden to this, and it's just been a mess the entire time. It created, like you say, our first confession session last year, and here we are starting out with one that is purely on administration. It looks like it's purely on the principal. And yeah, you can make that decision, that you do have that power. But you should be wiser, smarter in how you make that decision and what your impact is. What message have you sent to kids?
Exactly.
Here you've sent a message, and we know that parents got together. The reasons why they got together need not be raised, but parents got together and got you to make the decision. Kids have just been taught again that just like when they cried for that piece of candy and they were given that piece of candy because they cried hard enough, here again they're seeing, if I cry hard enough, I get something to happen. Not that people work to try to make the situation better. They completely make a change. So you wanted to wipe it out and put your own person in place.
And how many times, Dale, have we seen parents cry about something, coach gets removed, and then they bring another guy in, and it gets worse?
Exactly.
There are numerous examples we could name.
Oh, man.
But
no need to. Cause
I'm not going to go. That's another time for another day. Let's talk about what's going to happen on the field, because I've been in this situation on both sides of it. Mm-hmm. So when you got a coaching change this late, it's going to be tough, to adjust. And, I've heard, different things about what they're going to do as a staff, schematically, and all this stuff. But it's tough because, you lose your voice of your program. Whether he was there for this amount of time or that amount of time, we know he had an impact, because it's been said and it's been shown. Now, on the field, it's hard. It's hard because you're a kid. You're sitting around like, what is going on? Can I trust anybody right now? Because I don't know what's going to happen.
There are definitely got to be some kids with that thought, and some parents.
Yeah. Because
there was a comment made, and I had some little hit lists. I think Gator had asked, "What do you know?" Because I want to know more. I'd like to hear. And Hitman, I've said all I'm gonna say on what I know or what I've been told, whether I know or not. And then Hitman made the comment about this. So just it was unanimous. He had heard it was unanimous, and unanimous would have been probably 100 parents, 100 sets of parents going to the principal and saying, "Do this." That's unanimous. I'm assuming there's about 100 families in the program, 80 to 120, somewhere in that range. So it wasn't unanimous. It might have been unanimous of a small group of of parents. But regardless, you see that a small number of people made a change, and now you got some of these other people who got to say, what can I trust? Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if I'm a parent of Independence right now, I'm looking at it and saying, where can I take my kid?
Right.
Because this isn't stable. And I mean, you've seen it year after year after year. Now, what are you going to do to gain these other parents' trust that weren't involved, that weren't vocal, and say, hey, get behind us. We're going to fix this. We're going to be okay.
Right.
What can you do in this situation to make it better?
Right. I don't know Coach Brown very well. other than some casualness at a game. Hi, how you doing? Most people, from my experience with him and from everyone that I talk with, he's a good man. You kind of hate to see someone like that put into a position like this.
I've heard nothing but good things about Coach.
Exactly. So, I personally don't wish anything bad on anyone. I know people are going to hate to hear it, but if things go bad, it's going to be because of karma. Karma got you last year. You do bad things, and bad things can come back on you. And I in no way feel like this is a good thing that has happened. But I do wish the coaching staff a lot of luck in
Most definitely.
smoothing this out.
Because I've been there.
Right.
I tell you, going through it is hard, man, because you got guys, your players coming up to you asking you questions, your coaching staff now, your leader's gone, who's on what side about this and that. I mean, they got to get a lot of stuff sorted out in a really short period of time because they're going to play a team that Tom Knotts wants to send a message.
Oh yeah.
and it's gonna be a real challenge. It really is, and I feel for everyone that's involved on the good side of things.
Yeah.
The coaches that are left, the players that are there, and all of the parents that just want their son to be successful on the football field.
Right.
And I just say, just hang in there, listen to your coaches, play your heart out, and hopefully administration will get this corrected in some form or fashion.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to right the wrong with Scott Young, but maybe a message has been sent that they'll be a little bit smarter in what they do as they move forward. And I'm speaking on administration. I'm sure if anyone involved is watching this, they may be laughing at us as to, what do they know? They don't know, blah, blah, blah. We're experienced in life, and we know what's right and wrong. And we've had enough experience in business or in teams and throughout our life to know that you just don't do this kind of thing. There was nothing unethical, immoral, or illegal done here. So there was no reason to remove that man. None at all.
I'll tell you, I went through it in July of 2011. We're getting ready for the next season at Harding. And Mark Sanders got let go.
I remember
and
that.
all of us, actually,
Yep.
the whole staff got let go. Now, you talk about some chaos in that situation. I can't imagine what's going on, over at Independence at the moment. So, I feel your pain, guys. The ones that are left and the ones that are not staying on.
That want to do good. So, good luck to everyone involved. Hopefully, there will be no more bad, and people will make good, right decisions as we move forward. And if Scott Young happens to see this, more than anything, I wish you, and I know Matt does, we wish you the best of luck, and you'll be coaching again if you want to. Obviously, you don't have to, but you're a good coach, and a lot of people would love to have you, even as an advisor, let alone standing on the field. Would love to have you involved in their program. All right, that's it. I would hope that we don't have many more of these this year, but we will.
Yeah.
Maybe not on this kind of situation, but
Parents are coming next.
yeah, most likely. Thanks for watching.